massive overreaction today in the price action for ticker symbol COSM. Let's go ahead and go over the potentials now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this very late Thursday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, team, so I if you were there for the space call today, you can see just how much pressure people like me and Avid and Frank are facing, right? Because we are essentially we're involved with COSM. Now, granted, I'm not involved with it fundamentally, right? I'm involved in it I'm their statistical analyst, I'm their data analyst, and that's kind of a limitation as to where I'm what I'm doing with them, right? So I'm going to speak charts, team. I'm not going to speak of I can't speak of anything else because I'm not aware of anything else, and they hired me specifically for one reason, and that reason is the one that you follow me for every other ticker as well. Okay, so I want to go over something very, very interesting with you, though. Okay, now apologies, I'm noticing that I'm sliding off of my chair here. There we go. All right, so what I have noticed here, team, is that this target is not only what I'm considering to be very close to a floor, but it's a highly confluent target in several ways. Let's go ahead and break this down now. As I was studying this, as it was happening, right, even the space call and everything, right, so it kind of baffled me here, but check this out. So what you're looking at here is we've touched on this before. This is the right-angled broadening ascending wedge, okay? And this was that smaller one that we were trading, where we were thinking that 445 bottom, or the 245, sorry, the 245 bottom could have been the area for a spring or some type of shakeout, right? So now if we measure that downside, right to that 245 level, and then we get that bounce to the upside to this green wick right here, right? So let's just go ahead and measure that. You're looking at about a move that was 43% to the upside, entirely breaking the market structure from the previous low. So that, team, that is significant. Whatever that was, I mean, it's set up kind of an unfair bear trap, a bull trap, right? So usually you tend to look at the break of market structures by combating or beating. Granted, it would be good for us to close with a 4-hour iteration upside of this last low, right? But it didn't do that, right? So it actually just went up 10.4% to the upside and then immediately rejected, right, team? So now another thing is that during a downtrend, when you print an inverted hammer like this, that usually means that we're going to get an upside. Why in the world could this have happened, right? So, of course, we got that fundamental catalyst that was, I mean, usually it's looked at, to be kind of a bearish thing when it's announced in the markets, right? Whatever it is, it's just, I feel like this was a drastic overreaction, right? So let's move on with the analysis. I just wanted to explain to you where we are presently, okay? So this formation itself, the big formation, has a price objective. And the way that we can figure that is actually by taking a trend line, right? Let me make sure that it's aligned to that downside here. We take a trend line from the very lowest point right at the breakout candle, which is this one here. Okay, so right at the breakout candle, we take that trend line and measure that absolute top side of the formation. Then we apply this for a price objective. Check this out. So let's go ahead and apply that right there and look at where the price action or where the psychology was suggesting for us to go to. This was suggesting a bottom target of about $1.90. Price action is currently at $191 and the low was $185. Okay, so also notice, I mean, remember, this thing is suggesting, what was it again? 190, and the price action sitting at 191. Take a look at the 4-spot 236 geometric here, 191, and the 4-spot 618 at 181, and the price action reached 185. Okay, so this was absolute confluence, team. And the crazier thing is that it's very close to critical supports down here, right? So now the bottom side of this candle here has a low of about 188. This green one here. Let me try to get close to it. There we go. A low of about 188. Right, so you can just see that there is massive confluence down here. What I am gonna say here, team, is that I could see a continuation to the downside, and in a 4-hour time frame, we came down and we actually bounced right off of this 4-hour gap right here. So the top side of that candle there is a high of 183, right? So we bounced right off of that and actually came back down and closed at this very confluent area. See, this one red candle here has a low of 191, and that's currently where we are. This very small red one, right? I'm gonna point it out to you just like this. Oh my goodness. Just like this, okay? Now, if you're wondering what in the world this target is, this is the fair value gap that we were looking at as a potential drop to that zone where we did get a 10% bounce from, right? So now that we have this confluence here, right? So that this is typically where you would consider the move to have played out. Take a look at this from BBIG. This is a similar formation, right? So you literally measure the same way. You measure it from over here, right, to the top side to the bottom side of the formation. You apply it to the breakout candle, right? This is the retest, and then the confirmation, and then a downside. Take a look at what happened. How would anyone believe that from $8, from a $8, or actually no, to say $12 to $1, right? Who would have ever said that could have been it? Well, the formation, right? The formation would have told you this itself. So price action came all the way back down to where? 112, when this itself was suggesting 111. And so far from this bounce, BBIG has actually faced, let's see, upwards of 155% bounce. Over how long though? Let's just take a look at that since the bounce, right? From the low, sorry. Over the span of about 23 days. Okay, so that's pretty massive considering what's been happening here. Okay, so now to further what I'm talking about here, okay, team, I'm sorry that I'm going on here, but I would really like to show retail what I'm seeing. Okay, to further this confluence that I'm looking at here, take a look at this. This is a massive scale, broadening descending wedge. Now it's absolutely clear. Okay, team, I'm not keeping into consideration the Black Swan event that we got at RS. Okay, I'm not keeping that into consideration. My test is this test here, not this test. Okay, so we're looking at test number 1 of the resistance, test 2, test number 3. This is test number 4, right? What happens after test 3? If you guys are regular viewers, you know. After test number 3, we get the capitulation event that we always look for, right? So huge drop on that test number 3. Then we start testing the resistance. Of course, we're not going to get out of that, team. This is test number 4. It's not quite there yet. This is why price action continued to the upside. We were in the belief that test number 4 could actually be the technical breakout. In fact, it wasn't. We came back over here, team. We broke out on that test number 5. And now this is the test right here. The test number 5 breakout. This is the test of the support. But we still haven't gotten to test it back upon a huge breakout here. We have to come back and test it at least one more time per the traditional rules. Okay, so you can see that we broke out of the formation, and now where are we coming back to? Right? And now what is 169? 169 is the all-time low. And let's just go ahead and assume, let's see what time frame we have. 13 hours and 45 minutes for this bi-daily candle to close. Okay, so that means that by market end tomorrow, this bi-daily iteration will have already completed, and we had either touched the 169 zone. Look at how confluent it is. I'm not drawing this. I'm not making this up. All I'm doing here is just connecting some lines of confluence, right? Other than that, it's just going to be data of which you're not going to understand, okay? But look at this, okay? We're just going to make this little line right here, just so you can see how confluent it is with the 169. There. This is the 169 right over here. And then essentially we could face maybe a bounce to the upside upon validating this support. Okay, so if you're looking at this as a traditional trade, then yeah, you're waiting for the 4th breakout true test or the 5th breakout true test before a retest of the support and then a continuation to the upside. So in all essence, I'm not looking at this as being the end of COSM. In fact, I'm seeing this as a technical breakout play that usually tends to play out the way we're looking at it here. Of course, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see our price action. We don't want to see our portfolios dip down that hard. But it's, I mean, this is, it's kind of, I mean, with the exception of this massive consolidation from here to here, I would say this is about 90% textbook, okay, or 95% textbook, right around there. So that breakout, I mean, usually happens, team, and then we get a bounce to the upside. So now, seeing that we could be validating that support, which has a lot of confluence with the 169 bottom, we're looking at this right-angled ascending broadening wedge. Also have pretty much realized this downside here. And then also seeing the example of BBIG, this, you know, with the same type of formation breakdown. And then you get that huge bounce to the upside upon figuring and finally just putting an end to the downside, team. That's it's leading me to believe that we could see a bounce from here. Of course, it doesn't have to do what I'm saying. In fact, price action can essentially realize the inside of the formation and then test the top side of this as 156 and then continue downward here. That's also possible. Right, but what I'm looking at here, team, is actually a macro shift, and this is the confirmation of a bullish breakout. What I'm thinking here that we consolidated for so long is the fact that there was a lot of downside pressure based on macro sentiment to get this test actually figured, but it was never able to be pushed down because there was no reason to. So upon this news coming out, that was the final reason to get this thing to finally test the breakout of the test number 5 before a continuation. Okay, team. So that's what I'm looking at. I just need you to know that I'm just expressing to you. I'm just telling you what I see in the charts, team, and that's it. I don't care about anything else. I really I'm just gonna tell you the truth, and that's what I see as the truth here, team. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing else that I'm seeing other than what I just showed you. Okay, so I'm not trying to make some weird thing up in here. But however, I do want you to know that I am not a financial advisor. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Okay, team, I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.